Welcome to RCFE Deal Room. I'm Dale Corpus. If you're buying, selling, or investing in residential care facilities for the elderly in California, this channel is designed to help you make smarter decisions and avoid costly mistakes. If you've watched some of our previous episodes, we talked about due diligence, financing, business evaluation, and some of the biggest mistakes first-time RCFE buyers make. Today, I want to talk about something that makes a lot of buyers nervous: negotiation. I've seen buyers spend weeks researching a facility only to become uncomfortable once it's time to make an offer. They're worried about offending the seller. They're worried about losing the deal, or they simply don't know what's reasonable to ask for. The good news is successful negotiations aren't about winning. They're about creating a transaction that works for both parties. Today, I'll share several principles that can help you negotiate with more confidence and hopefully avoid paying more than you should. Let's get started. Number 1, negotiation starts before you write the offer. Most people think negotiation begins once numbers start going back and forth. I don't. I believe negotiation begins the moment you start gathering information. Before you ever make an offer, ask yourself, why is the owner selling? Are they retiring, burnt out, relocating, looking to simplify their life? Every seller has a story. The better you understand their motivation, the better you can structure an offer that solves their problem, not just yours. Sometimes price is the most important issue. Sometimes it's timing. Sometimes it's confidentiality. And sometimes it's making sure their residents and staff will be well cared for after they leave. The more you understand what matters to the seller, the stronger your position becomes. Number 2, don't negotiate on price alone. Many buyers become completely focused on one thing: purchase price. But that's only one part of the transaction. There may be flexibility with closing dates, seller financing, training after closing, inventory, furniture, equipment, licensing, transition support, or even consulting after the sale. Sometimes a slightly higher purchase price with better terms is actually the better deal. Look at the entire package, not just the number. Number 3, let due diligence guide the negotiation. One mistake I see is buyers trying to negotiate before they fully understand the business. That's backwards. Your due diligence should help identify legitimate reasons to adjust your offer. Maybe occupancy isn't as strong as expected. Maybe staffing costs are higher than anticipated. Maybe deferred maintenance exists. Maybe financial statements reveal concerns. Negotiating based on facts creates credibility. Negotiating based on assumptions usually doesn't. Number 4, don't be afraid to ask questions. Good negotiators ask great questions. Instead of immediately making demands, ask, can you help me understand how referrals are generated? How long key staff members have been with the business? What challenges you've experienced? How expenses have changed? Questions often reveal information that changes the entire conversation. The more you understand, the better decisions you'll make. Number 5, know your walkaway point. One of the strongest negotiating positions you can have is being willing to walk away. That doesn't mean being difficult. It means understanding your numbers before emotions take over. Know what the business is worth to you. Know your budget. Know your financing, and know your risk tolerance. There will always be another opportunity. Don't let excitement cause you to overpay. Number 6, think beyond closing day. The best RCFE transactions don't end on closing day. They begin there. Many successful buyers continue working with the seller for a short transition period. The seller may introduce referral partners, help train staff, answer operational questions, assist with licensing, support continuity for residents and families. A smooth transition often creates more value than negotiating another few $1,000s off the purchase price. Number 7, keep emotions out of the negotiation. Buying an RCFE is exciting, but excitement can become expensive. Don't negotiate because you're emotionally attached. Negotiate because the numbers make sense. Stay professional, stay respectful, and remember, you're negotiating with someone who's invested years, sometimes decades, building this business. Respect goes a long way. Professionalism often produces better results than aggressive tactics. The best deals create 2 happy parties, People sometimes think negotiating means someone has to lose. I disagree. The best RCFE transactions leave both sides feeling respected. The seller feels good about the transition they've created. The buyer feels confident about the investment they've made. When both parties feel successful, those are usually the transactions that close smoothly. And let me give you a tip. Before making an offer, write down the 3 things that are most important to you. Then try to identify the 3 things that are probably most important to the seller. When you understand both sides, you're much more likely to create a successful negotiation. And if I could leave buyers with one piece of advice, I would do this. Don't focus on winning the negotiation. Focus on making a smart investment. Sometimes paying a little more for the right business is a far better decision than getting a bargain on the wrong one. Your goal isn't to buy the cheapest RCFE. Your goal is to buy the right RCFE. If there's one thing I hope you take away from today's episode, it's this. Negotiation isn't about putting pressure on the seller. It's about gathering good information, understanding what matters to both parties, and structuring a deal that makes sense for everyone involved. If you're thinking about purchasing an RCFE here in California and you'd like to better understand the buying process, I'd be happy to have a confidential conversation. Even if you're still early in your search, getting informed now can help you avoid costly mistakes later. Even if you never work with me, I hope these videos help you make better decisions. That's the reason I created RCFE Deal Room. If you'd like additional educational resources for RCFE buyers, sellers, and investors, visit simplifyseniortransitions.com/RCFE. There you'll find educational videos, tools, and my free RCFE buyers due diligence checklist to help you navigate the California RCFE market with confidence. If you found today's episode helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. And if there's a negotiation topic or RCFE buying question you'd like me to cover in a future episode, leave it in the comments. I read everyone, and many of these episodes are inspired by your questions. Next time, we'll discuss one of the biggest questions every RCFE owner eventually asks: how to increase the value of your RCFE before you sell. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dale Corpus, and I'll see you next time here on RCFE Deal Room.